Greetings, gamers, and welcome to...
Boy, it's been a hot minute since we've done this.
Oh, yes, this is the first one that is going to be going up on the YouTubes, and what is this, you may ask? Well, this is episode 1 of the Queercast, the podcast that we do.
Podcast!
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 And, I am your host, VariantPlays, and I am also joined alongside by SlugishBray and Derped Fox. I was expecting a moan, not gonna lie. Not that I'm complaining. But so we are here to tell a few stories from a little adventure that we went on, known as Comic-Con, and that is spelled K-A-M-I, con.
I'm sure you're going to put it in the description.
So for those who are listening who don't know, or just didn't pay attention, which honestly, if you didn't, fair. Derpy, Bray, and I went on a weekend little escapade to
they call it escapade.
To a con here in Alabama, in Birmingham, Alabama, and it was a blast. And honestly, I don't even remember how to get truly started on it. I don't even remember how we found out about it. Yeah.
I think
we found it out through Michael.
You know what? You're so right.
We did, because I mentioned it.
So yeah, we were in the middle of
we were in the middle of stream, and in the middle of a stream. Well, yeah, no, we were in the middle of a stream.
Yeah, we were in the middle of a stream.
I was scrolling through Twitter because we were playing Fortnite, I think. No,
we were doing something. I think it was a modded Monday.
No, Overwatch.
It was something that we
had a lot of downtime. Where we were sitting waiting for something to happen, and I was scrolling through Twitter, just seeing something. I see Michael posted. I said, "Cool, let me."
By the way, when we're talking about Michael, we were talking about Michael Kovacs, the voice actor.
Voice actor of Pilot, Angel Dust, Rocky,
Gamer ASF PT Dub,
Jax from Amazing Digital Circus.
Yep, and Jax, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, but we were sitting there and I was scrolling, and I seen where Michael had done posted saying, "Hey, I'm going to be at Comic-Con," and I'm like, and I looked at I'm like, okay, cool, he's going to a convention. I didn't pay attention to the location just yet. I looked at all the information. Then I clicked on the page that Comic-Con has on Twitter. Found out it was in Birmingham, Alabama. I looked at Variant and I said, "Variant!" Variant's over here. What, Bray? Michael's going to be not that far from us. And we start planning.
Yeah,
and
for a little...
Spoopy does normal old con gathering information anyways, even to cons that I don't go to. So I know and
it was really funny because going into this, we Bray and I have met IRL a few different times, and Bray only lives about 2.5 hours from me, and so the original plan was that it was just going to be Bray and I that were going to go. And fortunately enough, my mom was my mother, who
also going to a convention.
My mother, who was an author, she was also going to a convention in Birmingham, not the same convention, but a convention in Birmingham nonetheless. And it was really funny because we brought it up to Derpy, and Derpy, he lives not too terribly far from me.
An hour.
He lives double the time that it would take for me to get to Variants.
And no,
really?
He only lives about he lives just around the same.
Well, from me though, it would take
from
a little
you.
Longer.
But and then it took genuinely about a month for us to actually get any sort of confirmation that Derpy was going to be able to go. Not from, not his fault, obviously, because it was work shit.
It was work, it was him not knowing if he was going to get the full 3 days off.
Yeah.
And he was
my manager,
only thinking that he was only going to get 1 day off.
My manager, honestly, is the chosen one, honestly, because I was on the phone with her one night, and I was working with one of our assistant managers trying to get her trained up for the night.
Keep in mind, all of this is going on about 2 weeks before Comic-Con.
Yep.
I want to say, yeah, it was 2 weeks. Yeah.
Because we were reaching the deadline, and
I probably purchased my ticket literally 2 weeks before.
I purchased it the night before. But my manager was like, "Yo, go ahead and put off those 3 days, and if you need any more, then cool. But if you don't end up going, then you can just come back into work." And I'm like, "Bet." Then I got yelled at by my assistant manager that day. That was funny.
What was really funny about it is the fact that Bray and I were planning on going in cosplay. Derpy just kind of went as himself, as in the Derped Fox.
The Fox Man.
And it was really funny because Bray and I, obviously, if you aren't aware, or for those of you guys who aren't aware, Bray and I are huge into Has-Been Hotel, and if you don't know what Has-Been,
we're in every production that Michael's in.
And for those of you who do not know what Has-Been Hotel is, I'll give a brief TLDR, which is the daughter of Lucifer and Lilith decides to create a hotel to rehabilitate sinners and go to, so that they can go to heaven. Why do they need to go to heaven? Well, because once every year, heaven will send down an army to wipe out sinners. Well, why are they doing that? Because hell is apparently getting overpopulated.
Anyways.
And Bray and I literally, we essentially actually just flat out bought all the different pieces and put them all together. And more on that in a little bit. But like, we didn't buy like an actual costume. Like, we actually went and like did our own shit for it, which, I took a bit of pride in. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But and then after the trip, after the trip there, which there wasn't really necessarily anything notable that happened.
The only thing that was notable during the trip there is that when Derpy got into the car, we played a sound that he hates.
We played the fucking Mario cave sound, which plays a lot when he is at work.
Because their door apparently does that.
And
which is cool, but also at the same time weird.
The door? You think it's
not the door?
It is not the door. That sound is whenever a online order comes in through the system.
That is a weird sound to have for the online system.
Yeah. So if the screen has no orders on it, and you walk away from it, and someone places an order on there, it'll go.
That is such a. Who programmed that?
Dominoes.
But it's really funny because day one, nothing necessarily notable happened.
Day one, we got there really
We got
late.
there at 9 p.m. Now,
we got there, we got our badges, and we walked around.
And realistically, we did do some cool stuff. We actually went and we actually checked out the whole area.
So when we got there, we didn't first head off to the con. We unpacked our bags. We sat and chilled for just a minute.
We unpacked our bags,
and then we did.
Ate, but
we did some trippage.
Uber, got over there.
But
when we got there, we didn't know where to go because there was no obvious, there was no signs telling us, "Hey, this is where the tickets are.
So we did the con-goer thing of following everyone else.
We literally followed everyone up some stairs, and then boom, right in front of our faces. Here's your lanyards! Ah! So we walk up, no trouble, nothing. No one's in line because it's the end of the day. No one's coming in. We're the only ones coming in very late to get our lanyards. And then we all sit there for a second and be like, okay, we're gonna go check out the vendors first.
So the vendors were essentially closing 10 minutes after we got it.
Vendors were freaking empty, practically. The people that we wanted to see sitting at the vendors weren't there. They were doing their own little show in a main event area. So we just walked through. We talked to a VTuber for a little bit,
which was great.
We seen a VTuber the first day that we were there. We talked to them for a little bit, and then we left to go to the game area.
Now the game area was...
That's when we did
the game area was gamer.
That's when we did some stuff.
Because realistically, the game room was like the only thing that was truly open that late.
24. Well, I say 24. It really wasn't even 24, but
no. But
for the long,
it was like an hour. They close like an hour before the convention itself closes for the day.
But so like the game area was fucking crazy. So they had, you know, pretty much every major console, truly.
They had their Switches. They had like the old generation stuff. They had like Nintendo 64s, freaking Sony things, all that.
It was, but the funny thing is that they're like, oh, they also had like a big VR area, but we didn't check that out until like the second, third day.
Day two is when we checked that out.
But the computer area. And Derpy, do you want to talk about this? Because I know you're the big like.
Because you're more into the computer stuff than we are.
It was cool.
That's all you say.
Okay.
This man, every time
those computers cost around
every single. Hold on, no, it's so funny to me that that's what he did.
$1,500.
It was about those little setups themselves. They were pretty expensive. I'm not gonna lie. They were like newer CPUs, very new graphics cards. So they had to have been at least $1,500 at minimum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like about $1,500 per computer that was there.
And they had like,
and then the monitors themselves,
260, like 260 hertz monitors. I don't know what.
I think they were probably 25, 22 inch.
Do we know like maybe what resolution they were?
I did not check the resolution.
That's one thing we probably should. But dude, they were so cool. The best part about them, they come every year.
Yep.
Comic-Con.
And
which we will be going back again, by the way.
Next year we'll be going back. Yes.
So but after that we decided to leave. I don't think we really did much other than, you know,
on day one.
Yeah.
Day one we did Jack.
Day one we did we
played Mario Kart.
We didn't do just Mario Kart. You guys are bugging. You got to remember we did Waifu Wars.
Oh yeah, we did.
You are so right. That was day one, wasn't it?
I forgot all about Waifu Wars.
So this is
there's a video out there.
Did I not send that to you, V?
No, you never did.
Hold on, I'll send it to you right now.
There's a video out there.
There is a video. I think Bray's. I don't know if anybody else recorded me other than Bray, but let's give context first. So it's right at the end of day one. And we were just like, oh yeah, what we need to go check out this Waifu Wars thing, whatever the fuck it is. And we go down, and it was in the main event area, and it was this one dude essentially who was hosting this, and it was I'm not joking.
Those set of guys were awesome.
They it was an actual debate tournament about different waifus, and they had people from the crowd volunteer, and Derpy and Bray would not let up. They're saying, V, you need to do this. V, you need to go up there. And I'm like, no,
you could see it. You could see it in his face. He kind of wanted to go up there.
And I finally just give in and I say, fuck it. You know what? Because Bayonetta was one of the characters that was up, and I don't know much about Bayonetta, but I knew enough to like
he knows
keep
all about
going.
Personality.
And So Bayonetta goes up, and I finally go up, and I start out.
No, I send it to you.
I start out like kind of casually, just kind of doing some goofy ass
Casual,
shit. And then I see Bray in the back with a camera.
The instant streamer mode that
and I see the camera and something clicked, and I let loose.
Literally, the first 15 seconds was you being chill, and then you looked and seen me, and then you immediately dropped the biggest bomb that made everybody choose you.
And yes, I started again. I had words. Fuck. Now this event was 18 plus to the point where we had to show our IDs to get in.
IDs, yep.
Which that felt funny as fuck. But yeah, I said something, and I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want to get flagged by YouTube.
You can dumb it down.
But essentially, I said something very raunchy, and the entire place just lost it.
All I can say is he mentioned goth, and
I did mention goth. I did say the one thing. I did say like one thing that I know more than anything, or I know one thing that this generation wants more than anything is a big titty goth girl.
That is literally what you said after those 15 seconds. That is literally the first thing you said after the first 15 seconds.
And then I saw the camera. But let's just say I won that round. And that was the last major thing that we did. However, day 2 is where it starts to get really funny.
Didn't day 1 also when we got back, Badger had released a video, so
we watched the new Russian Badger video that came out.
We watched the Russian Badger video that came out. We walked home.
Oh yeah, we also did. We walked back to where we were staying. I mean, it wasn't a bad walk. It
was a lot less spookier than I expected.
Yeah,
that's just Birmingham is a lot.
And I will say this: where we were staying, there was literally an alleyway. There was a Batman alleyway right beside.
Oh yeah, there was a Batman alleyway right next to where we were staying. But here's the funny thing. So day 2.
Yes, we get to day 2.
Day 2, we start off. We go to McDonald's.
We ate breakfast.
Day 2. Let's get down into because there's gonna be a little bit more meaning to what the morning start off with. So the morning, me and V, we woke up at around.
They woke up before I did.
7?
It was 6:30 in the morning.
They woke up like 30 minutes before I did, or about an hour maybe.
Say it was like 7 or something.
It was 6:30 because I remember I checked my phone as soon as I woke up and I was
like, yeah, y'all did wake up 30 minutes
sleep.
Before I did. You did wake up 30 minutes before I did because I woke up at like 7 or something. And then, we all get up, get ready. We get ready to start getting ready for the con.
Because V's mom had to get stuff set up
she had to get her stuff set up already.
And she offered to drive us.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were like, well, we need to get back and get our con stuff on because the event didn't start till about 10.
No. We went because we already had most of our shit on. Because I remember going to McDonald's in our cosplay.
Yeah, we had all of our stuff on at McDonald's.
Then why did we wait?
Because the con didn't start until 10, 11, and we went to breakfast at 8.
Oh, that's what it was.
We were just wandering. No, the place was open. We were waiting to go to the vendors that early. And then we got into the place after we done eat breakfast. But here's the thing. Okay, we're skipping a major
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Here's the thing. We get out of the vehicle. We're like, bye. Have a good time over your convention and everything. We tell her bye. Wish her luck on selling her stuff.
We open the main doors.
We go through the main doors. Not even a millisecond later, someone goes up to me and V and goes, "Hey, can I get a picture of you two?" Because me and V are in cosplay of Alistair as V, and I'm as Husker, and I have the big bottle of booze.
So it was
courtesy of Variant.
It was really funny, because Bray and we were just like, oh yeah, how many photos do you think we're gonna get? And we were just like, a few.
A few, only a few. We probably took over 50 photos.
And obviously we can't say everything because we still gotta remain some sort of vague.
Yeah.
But we took an ass load of photos that day, and I remember.
Yeah, they did. They really did. Because I only got into like
we got some with the support fox. We dubbed Derpy as the support fox.
I am the support fox.
He was dressed up day 2 as Domino's Furry.
Domino's Furry with a NASA backpack, and I was holding literally everything they got.
And it was really funny because we packed the bag with like water, so and we packed the fucking backpack with waters and Dr. Pepper.
Water and Dr. Peppy.
Next year, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a backpack that can hold more of the.
When I go as N, I'm planning on bringing my satchel that I have.
Like the autograph stuff, we'll put in like a whole nother bag if we get. Well, because
that's what I'm gonna bring. Like, I don't know if I've actually shown you guys, but I have this really old satchel that my grandmother gave me. It's like the definition of what you think of. I still don't know
what I'm gonna be doing for Murder Drones though. That's the thing. So I need to think on that.
Thad.
Huh?
I've been thinking. I'm not gonna do Luna. We've already talked about doing the Luna cosplay. We've talked about doing.
I still think the fucking gender bent Luna would be great, but
I think it would be great. But honestly, I'm thinking a little bit of Cassidy. Maybe I may go back to the Luna.
It's high noon.
High noon.
I think it'd just be funny.
But no, what was really great about day 2 is pretty early on in we met this group of girls, and it was really funny because we saw them a few different times before we spoke to them, but it was really great because I see, like, I'm going on and I think I was buying something. I think
when was the first time that we seen them? Hold on. First time we seen them,
it was when I was hanging out with Jake.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with my buddy who was he was selling Gundams with a few of his other friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a tap on the shoulder from Bray, and it was like, and I'm like, what? And he's like, there's a Charlie, Vaggie, and Angel right there. And
no, they wanted I think one of them came up and said, "Can we get a photo with you two?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And I tap you, and I'm like, "Hey, they want a photo."
No, because I think what ended up happening was I was talking to Jake, and then we had to follow them. Because we kept on having to chase them down, and then I eventually caught up to them.
No, because you wanted to get a photo with all 5 of us, and so we didn't follow them. What had happened was we lost them, so we just kept walking around, and then we seen them in the line for getting a signature from Erica.
And that's when we finally talked to them. And
chill set of people, by the way.
And
what's up? What did you say?
I said chill set of people, by the way.
Yeah, yes. No, they were great. We talked to them a good part. We talked to them on and off for the rest of the con.
The Charlie and the freaking, they were dressed up as Charlie, Angel and Vaggie. Yeah. And you know, they were freaking sweet as all could be out.
Oh yeah, they were sweet. I think the
every angel I ran into was super freaking sweet.
It's almost as if they can relate to the character.
Exactly. But anyways.
But no, it was really funny too because eventually throughout the day, I think it was around 10 or like 11. It was really early. It was 11 or it was like 11 to noon, and we are just like, you know what, we're here. Let's go get our signatures with Michael. And
I think we went and got something to eat first too.
I think we did. I think we ate like right after.
No,
because I remember we ate
afterwards.
We ate afterwards.
Because after we got our signatures, we went and sat down and figured out what we were going to do next. But anyway, but hold on. Let's talk about the signatures because there's some funny stories here.
Oh yeah.
Because I go up first, and And so I go and talk to Michael, who is a complete fucking sweetheart.
Michael is such a freaking sweet person.
Man.
I was the one that talked to Michael first. Like,
gentlemen, for the schedule.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That actually makes shit easy, so we can have the schedule on hand.
Straighten your stuff up.
But I talked to Michael first because I went up there first, and I go up to Michael. I'm like, I tell him like I'm a big fan. Talk about the stuff with Digital Circus and all this other stuff, and I get the signature combo with a photo and then an additional photo. I get an autograph of Jax. I get an autograph of Jax, and he draws a little Jax at the bottom like he does with all of his others. And then I take a photo, just a regular photo with me as in my cosplay, and then I get the second photo. The second photo was the funny part.
So what happened with the second photo is it's complete. It's so fucking funny because
I wanted a photo with my VTuber so that I could post it online.
And which I really should have done, but I didn't have the money for that.
Yeah.
And so at first I'm the one taking the photo because obviously Bray's got to hold his phone.
I gotta hold my phone out next to Michael so that he can. But Michael thinks I'm trying to take a photo with my phone, and I'm like, "Oh, Michael," and freaking Variant's like, "Michael, I think you gotta look at this one," and he's like, "Oh, my bad."
I think I just went. I think I just literally went, Michael. And then he's like, "Oh." Which is how he said it.
He literally goes full on N. Oh.
And then I go and get my stuff done, and I go and I have a little thing that I do when I meet voice actors.
We also did like a bundle with.
Yeah, we did the one with the three of us, and
then we also did one with Ashley because you can't get Michael and not get Ashley.
The funny thing is when I went to go get my stuff done with Michael, I got a video because we went to the con specifically for Michael first, and then we were gonna meet everybody else.
Yeah.
And then we were gonna meet everybody else later, but Michael was the main point. And so I have a thing that I do when I go and meet, like the main event of why I'm there. Which is I go and I get a video and I ask them if there is one line in your career and you could go, that's the one, what would it be? When I asked that to Bryce Pappenbrook back when I met him in Boston, he couldn't answer one. Or he couldn't give me just one. Michael did. And he and the line he chose is the line I was not expecting.
I was actually expecting it because he put a lot of effort into that one line.
Which was the "Oh Harder Daddy" from the Has-Been Pilot. Which is the "Oh Harder Daddy" from the Has-Been Pilot.
And we were all
three of us burst
inside.
out laughing, and
I was very tempted to go, son.
But you were over at doing stuff with Ashley by that point.
No, I was. I was. Yeah.
And what's really funny is that after that I go and get one with Ashley, and I get the photo with Ashley and all that. But the funny thing is when I go to get the photo with Ashley, is I go to get the photo, and Ashley gets up, goes around the table, and Michael happens to be going up and getting a photo with somebody else. But instead of just going along and having us wait,
I think this was after the three.
You two were already gone by this point.
Yeah.
And so so Michael, instead of going past us and going, hold on, give me a second, I gotta go to the other guy. He just walks right up next to Ashley and becomes a part of the photo. And then as he's walking past, I hear him go, "I did that for free." and It is.
All I just want to hear is actually how he said it. All I want to hear is his words through it. It's just, I did that for free.
And it's so funny because I walk back to Bray and Colton,
and
they see me geeking. They're just like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Michael just joined in the photo."
We we
you guys were like
walked off a little bit.
You guys were like at the vendor booth area, but like between we were
at
between
the vendor booth
lines
area,
and the actual like other vendors.
Yeah, we were between the lines.
You guys were just kind of standing there.
Yeah, we were looking at the other lines. Yeah, we were looking at the other lines of Erica, Amir, and all them.
Amir and Blake.
Yeah.
And what was really oh god, there was so much that we did that day.
Did we get Amir's and all them's on day 2, or did we get that on day 3?
We did that on day 3.
Okay, I was making sure.
And if I'm looking at the schedule here, after that we took a break, we went and ate, and then we went to the Michael Kovac and Ashley panel.
Yeah, we did the Michael.
So we had an hour. We had an hour after we had gotten their signatures.
Yeah,
and we sat down for a bit, and then
we sat down for like 15 minutes.
And then we started walking around again. We went
right to the panel. We went like right to the panel to get in line because we knew there was going to be a line.
Well, no, because I remember we ate.
Yeah, we ate.
We ate, and then
that's what we were saying. We ate.
We ate and had the break at the same time.
Here's the funny little thing, and before we went to the panel, we were going around and eating. But before we sat down to like figure out what we were gonna do, we saw this cosplay of Sun.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
And this cosplay of Sun was and I know it's not like
wonderful.
you're not supposed to compare cosplays and shit like that. But this one This one was genuinely the best Sun cosplay I've ever seen.
This one was really accurate to the game.
Like this was, by best I genuinely by best I mean it was literally, it felt like you were looking at the character right out of the game.
And sure, yeah, the person had to look at the floor to make it look realistic, but hey, it freaking looked amazing.
And what's really and what was really,
and they even had the jingling bells.
Yeah, they had the jingling bells and all that. But once we got to the Michael Kovac and Ashley panel, there was a lot of really good.
So sad about the Michael Kovac panel.
Because you fell asleep in the middle of it.
I did.
Derpy and I only got about 3 hours of sleep. So Derpy was just like he felt so comfortable during the Kovac panel. He passed out in the middle of it.
I was sitting over there. I was sitting between V and Derpy, and all of a sudden I look over because Derpy had done bought like a Fox plush. He done bought a Fox plush because he was getting for his sister.
Dude.
And then
I actually bought him for myself.
Oh.
I love him.
Then I look over. This man has wrapped himself up, like just basically had sit there and has practically laid down.
You act like anybody in the podcast is gonna see your camera.
But what's funny is that he had fell asleep. I look over at V and nudge him. V's like, "What?" And then I tell him, I nudge my head over towards Derpy. He looks over and is like, "Oh,
that fucker passed out." But no, it was. I started
giggling, and then
during the Kovac panel, I mean, we got a lot of really good information. We got a lot of
cool information about Michael and about Ashley's project, everything. And I really got upset.
There was a fan who flustered Ashley, which was funny.
Oh, Ashley.
And it was really funny. But what was really funny about it in hindsight was after that panel, we left and then immediately got back in line because right after that was the Has-Been panel.
Yeah.
The Has-Been panel was about an hour later. And first off, we also found this another really good group of has-been cosplayers. And they were really good. And the angel had like all the fluff and everything as well.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if they had a prop or not.
And then
they had the husk plusher. They had the husk plushie.
Did we meet that gentleman that followed us for the rest of the con there at that point?
We met that guy.
We met him very early on.
Oh, that's right, because he yeah.
We met that guy very early on.
And but what was really funny is the fact that there was me and this guy who was like right next to me in line. And because for those of you guys who don't know and haven't been to cons, a lot of times when you're at bigger events, they'll have you like line up in like a serpentine pattern. So there was this guy to the left of me. And he and I just started talking about D&D for like 30 minutes.
Dude, the line got so big, dude.
The line was so
I'm
big
going to
for
state
the
this.
has-been.
I'm going to state this. If you were to ever look up their Facebook and like look at their videos they have like right on the front, if you wait just a minute and see one of the biggest lines that are there, that's the has-been line.
I will say this, the has-been line
probably had to have been what, a mile and a half long.
We could have fit a good quarter. We could have fit that whole line and still had about like 2/3 of a football field still open.
Yeah, there was just about somewhere between 300 to 500 people in that line.
It was
we had
big,
to literally fill
man.
every seat in that room.
And
some people were still standing.
And it was, I mean, the has-been panel was
went
fucking fantastic.
Hilarious.
The first one was great. The
first one was great. Second one was also pretty good.
Fantastic was the second one, in my opinion.
It was funny because we did some sing-alongs. I like that.
We did that day one too. I'm pretty sure we did the Loser Baby day one, or I guess day two.
No, Loser Baby was day two because that's when we were in vendor area. Loser Baby was when we were standing in line at vendors.
Well, we did there was a Loser Baby sing-along.
Goddamn baby, you're a fucked up little whiny bitch.
But
I'm having to check.
But with the Michael and Ashley panel, I was not upset. I was just wishing that I could have been called on. But I was gonna ask Ashley if she had any. I was gonna ask Ashley if she had any tips for people that are trying to get into their animation and like how to start out, because it's kind of hard for me to find a little area of getting started. But the has-been, day one, what did we start asking them? What was asked?
What was asked?
Oh fuck, I don't remember all the questions that were asked.
I don't remember.
No, I wasn't asking about like all of them. I was just like ones that we could remember.
Oh, I know one. They had one was like
But day two related, because day three is when we got to the funny ones.
Yeah, I know.
The one remember any of the questions from day three.
Hold on. One of them was it was like
it was the has-been cast as D&D characters.
That's what it was. Yeah.
There's
D&D characters and a band. Those were the two questions.
Band one was day three. Band one was day three.
No, they referenced it in day 3.
From 2 and into.
Oh yeah.
They referenced it again in day 3.
Yeah, but we talked about the D&D stuff, and what did Amir say at first? Alistair was.
Oh, I think he was saying.
Oh God,
because he didn't say warlock at first.
Funny enough, that part is actually on TikTok.
That part is.
I think he said that Alistair was a bard at first.
Yeah, he did say Alistair was a bard at first. Then someone from the crowd said, "No, he'd be a warlock."
Yeah, somebody on the right side of the area. Yeah.
No, it was Blake. Blake literally said, "No, he'd be a warlock."
But no, I mean, really. But there were so many
there were a lot of
in
funny
general,
moments.
just good moments that like I can't even remember.
And then from like we looked at the scheduling after Has-Been. Well, we've been looking at the scheduling since we got up, just so we can plan stuff.
Yeah.
And then we were looking, and we looked through, and we seen the 18+ stuff, and we were just like, okay, well, this is later stuff in the day that we can plan already ahead. And then me and Derpy both catch our eye at Fur After Dark.
But what was really great about this was like, during this whole section we met another two ladies who were fantastic, and actually Bray and I still talk to one of them to this day.
I still talk to practically both of them.
I'm gonna reel this back in for just a second. Just after the Has-Been Hotel panel, the day 2 one. Both, well, not both actually. V was like, I can't wait to find like an Adam and tell him like, an Adam or like a Lucifer.
The Lucifer.
Lucifer.
The entire
right
time.
At the end.
We could not find.
We could not find an Adam or Serpentius, sadly.
Or a Serpentius or an Lucifer at the beginning of the con.
But right after the Has-Been, we were going around, we were talking.
We catch a glimpse of a big white hat.
And first off, because after the Has-Been panel day 2, they started playing. I think they actually started playing Loser Baby.
They did,
like, over the comms, and there were like a bunch of people in Has-Been cosplays just like walking around with their phones. There was somebody who was walking around as a Luna, and they caught me.
I took a picture with the Luna. They picked up my booze and freaking took a picture. But yeah, we saw the Lucifer, and first off, they were fantastic. The cosplay itself was amazing, but they as a person also just off the rails. Like, and I mean that like in the best way, like the best like way that they could do it. They practically had the same personality as Lucifer would.
Take that, depression.
Take that, depression.
Take that, depression. But no, it was. I mean, and it was great because after everything, I mean, there was this huge Has-Been photo done as well.
Yeah.
But it was really funny because after everything, we finally like took a break, started walking around.
We had
Didn't we go to the game room after that?
We went to the game room and did the VR stuff.
From the Has-Been hotel panel to the Fur After Dark, we had what, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had about 5 hours to feck around.
I remember we went to the game room, and that's when we tried. That's when we tried that VR game that we got our ass kicked in.
Oh yeah, the freaking what even was it called? Blazin' something?
Fuck if I remember.
Blazin', that's what it is.
Brazen, I got my ass kicked blazing.
But I mean it was a fun game overall, but it
was fun. It's just that we didn't know how to play.
Dude, when you first walked in the game room, dude, the people on the fucking dance machines were fucking nutty as hell.
Yeah.
There were a few people.
I wasn't even going to attempt to go.
Oh, I wasn't either, but there was this one dance machine, and I don't remember what the fuck it's called. I can never remember what it's called, but it's not DDR.
Is it that one that has the big?
It's the one that has like the big LED floor.
Yeah, that's the one that everyone is going crazy for right now.
I love watching those. Actually, Derpy and Bray caught me watching somebody at one point because they were just doing really good. I was like, I'm enjoying this.
Now, I'm gonna break off here for a second here because I wanna talk about my little experience. So when it was around about 9. That was when
I think was that when we went to the rave?
That's day.
No,
day 2 was when we went to the rave.
I gotta find out where the rave was. It's in here.
No, it started at 10. That's what it was. The rave started at 10.
Yep, Kamicom rave 16+ right there.
Oh, Okay. All right. Well, yeah. All right. So the rave started at about 10.
We were
So
in the game room until then.
they had gone off into the rave room, and I'm not even gonna cap. That gentleman that we had following us, and some of the leftover has-been people, I was just getting a little overwhelmed. So I was like, all right, you know what? I want to try
Derpy
to.
did some stuff on his own for a little bit.
I wanted to do my own little spurpy little adventure.
But then
I wanted to try
cut it
to.
short.
I wanted to try to find
The
somewhere
support
to game.
fox had to support himself.
The support fox had to support himself before he went nuts. But I was looking at all the computers, and there were no open spots at all. And then everything else was like tournament based, which is not like awful or whatever, but like I don't know. I wanted to play like Overwatch or something, right? Just to get a little bit of relaxation. But all the computers were either turned off or the people were.
I know
like,
what we did before. I also know what we did before for After Dark because I know this was day 2. No, it wasn't.
But so I had like exited the room like twice and entered it 3 times, and then out of nowhere, I'm coming up on like the little imported little machines, like that came from like Japan, and here comes this set of interview people.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
Did you ever find out if that was real?
I'm still looking for stuff. I'll find out.
Take one to like a pawn.
Oh, the money?
Yeah, the money.
No, the money's fake as fuck.
Okay.
But
We're getting to that part.
Yeah, we're getting to that part. Well, I'll touch up on that here in just
story time with ADHD people.
It's so awful. I can't keep a storyline straight.
I cannot keep a storyline straight either. That's why I was like, wait a minute, because you never informed us if it was real or not.
Yeah, it's fake as shit. But anyways, so they were like, oh, well, can we interview you? I'm like, this is all of a sudden, oh shit, yeah, I'll do an interview. Why not? I'm like, awesome. All right, and then they start off with, all right, well, what brings you here? It's like, oh yeah, me and my buddies we're here for and it finally gets to my brain. I'm like, oh, it's the has-been panel. We're here for the has-been people getting signatures and all that and this other. And they're like, oh, that's cool. So what are you supposed to be? Well, me, I'm just my own little VTuber. My friend group, they're a set of VTubers. You've got me, that's a fox. You've got one of the other ones. He's a deer/ferret, and you have the main guy who is an owl.
Main guy,
person. Yeah, don't you cap on yourself like that, buddy-o. You act like if I weren't here, you wouldn't be here. But he's like, all right, well, do you want to shout them out for us? Or I was like, all right. Or do you want to shout yourself out? Is what he said. I was like, no. I'd rather shout out the guy. So I shout out V's Twitch, and he's like, okay, awesome. So they end the camera roll, and then they're like, well, here, since you've been, awesome and letting us interview you, here's some Viet Dong. He gave me like 30 fake Viet Dongs. And for the entire night, whenever I met up with V and them, we had been debating whether or not it was real or not. We had one decision where it was like, oh, it was real, and then we had like, oh, I think it's fake. Like I say, it didn't really matter either way. I thought it was just funny that we got Viet Dong just from an interview. I was like, okay, neat. But then, oh Lord, did we go to For After Dark after the rave and after that?
Yeah, we went to For After Dark after the rave, because I know after the rave we went and had to sit down for a bit because I started burning up really bad. And
For After Dark was pretty fun.
For After Dark was really funny, and I think I made a joke afterwards. I'm like, yes, there's nothing like looking at porn with the boys. Because I
And
mean, that's
be mindy. It's not just porn that was just there.
no, it was not. It was not just No, I mean it was
mainly
18 plus,
what it
but
was
that
about.
yeah, it was
Mainly what it was about. It was just like persona stuff. That's all it really
it was mainly how do you as a furry who also happens to be an adult make their way through the furry community. How do you do it safely? This, that, and the other. Which completely fair. And I believe I think Fur After Dark was like the last main thing that we did. Yeah. And then
then we finagled around. I'd like to have Bray come back because he's on mute for this part. I'd like for him to be here for the next part we have in store. So let's kind of touch up on some different items or like remaining factors of the night before we hit the main.
Well,
course.
I'll tell like the beginning of the story.
Not yet. I'd rather not yet. I'd rather Bray be here. So if you ever decide to consider going to a con, you shouldn't just go. You should go to get like signatures. You should
go with the plan ahead of time.
Go with the plan ahead of time, because if you don't, you're just spending approximately like $50-$60 for maybe a single day if that's all you've got, and you're not doing what you should be doing at a con.
Realistically, if you're going just to go, that's completely fair. Because I know a lot of people who go to cons just to like buy shit from the vendors, see other people in cosplay. That's fine. But if you want to go to a con and make like the most out of it, that's when you should like come up with a plan and like make sure you have everything,
Make sure you have everything. Make sure you're not buying
Yeah, make sure you're not spending all your fucking money right off the bat.
Yeah, make sure you're not spending all your money. Make a decent game plan. Look at who you're going to like look at. And take a backpack. Don't not take a backpack. Take a backpack, fill it up with things that you would need, like water, some snack food. Bring some like repair kit stuff.
Or at least if you don't go with a backpack, at least make sure when you get something, make sure it comes with a bag. Because it is a hassle trying to bring everything around if you do not have somebody with a bag, or if you yourself don't have like at least a plastic bag or something.
I'm gonna say if you had Dad was walking by on this one. If you even want to pack like a small little, like maybe even a pillow or a little stool, if you've got really bad knees, you can pop it off and sit onto it.
No, I am gonna get started on this story mainly because we are already 53 minutes in and we still have yet to even touch day 3. So essentially what happened, and by the way, this being said, we are not covering this topic to make fun of it, but it is something that happened.
We're not covering it to make fun of it. It's just one of those things that happened at the event that kind of almost like shat on it. And what we did with full intentions of helping, but it went sideways on us, really.
So after we were all hanging out outside, it was me, Bray, Colton.
The con had just ended.
A buddy of ours who we met, we're gonna call her Clown because that's her little persona. Oh, well, perfect.
Oh, good, perfect.
What's up?
Another few friends of ours, and
it's just around the corner, buddy.
Oh, we're talking about this.
And
we're starting.
And then and then another friend of ours had come in, and she was a bit obviously shaken.
This was
and
the
to
end
and
of
to say this the best I can to avoid any triggers and stuff like that. Her partner wasn't being very nice. And
partner was not the nicest. Let's just say that.
And we came inside.
We walked
back
to the
inside.
hotel.
We walked inside
to the hotel that was connected.
Well, we walked up into the sky bridge, which was which no pun intended, bridged between the actual convention center and the hotel that it was attached to, just to try to like catch our bearings, see what was going on. And then after that, we were under the impression that staff had it under control.
Her and a staff member had it under control, and they were going to stay with them for the night.
And
so we had done.
So we decided to go to the hotel because
we were gonna chat a little.
We were gonna go chat with.
We were gonna get a lift.
And
we were going to
get a lift. Sit down for a second and wait for the lift. Change plans.
Well, because what ended up happening was,
V's phone had died.
My phone had died. It was charging
to the thanks of some guy that had a keyboard.
And then once it was charged a decent amount, we headed to the hotel. And I'm obviously very bad at taking cues, so I was not aware of the fact that these two were trying to tell me, "Hey, we want to leave."
Yeah, amongst other things. Amongst other things.
It's totally
not you sitting here trying to
shut up. And so I was talking to a friend of ours, or two different friends of ours that we were at, and then eventually, right as we're about to go,
right as we're about to call,
I opened the lift at and everything. The staff member and the other lady came back and was like, "Hey,
we're going to get this person's stuff, which is right around the corner."
Yeah, it was right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
And us, obviously,
to be fair, before we go any further, the weather was already becoming spotty before we went on our went to go help this person.
It was already starting to sprinkle a little bit outside.
And so what ended up happening was they tell us it was right around the corner. And
right around the corner.
We agreed. Yeah, we'll help.
We'll
help because
it's at night. It's at night. It's a big city. There's a lot of bad things that can happen out in a big city like that. So we're like, around the corner, we'll get there, and then when we get there, we'll call the lift, and then we'll go home. And mind you, right now it's like 11:30.
Around the corner also. Mind you, around the corner also.
No, it was right. It was right at about 12:30 by the time we actually left.
No, 1:30.
There's no way it was 1:30. You said 11 at first.
Yeah, I did say 11. I didn't mean to say 11:30. I added a 1.
It was around 1 when we finally started going. Long story short,
so anyways, after 40 minutes of walking,
we walked 40 minutes, 5 blocks practically.
It was longer. It was more than 5 blocks.
In cosplay.
Rain
twice in cosplay.
Almost rained heavily.
And
I had to use my Husker's wings as an umbrella.
And turns out that they were, because we were trying to go along and help and like be in help. We were
trying to be nice,
so we can be because like Derpy was saying, it was a big city, all that. We were not under the impression that
it would take this long.
A, that it would take that long. B, that the partner who wasn't being very nice was going to be at the place that we were going to.
And was waiting in vehicle.
And was waiting. And so we get to the hotel and we're just like,
we're not going anywhere near it.
We're just like, this is not what we signed up for. We were here to,
and mind you, the staff member that had helped was over here trying to add on, saying, if we get there and this guy is being mean, you guys are gonna. I'm like, I am not doing anything.
And
I am not having the cops called.
And it was, and so eventually we get to the hotel,
and we immediately
just called a lift.
We immediately called a lift.
Now,
as soon as we got there.
Thank fuck he called the lift.
Because right as we got into the lift, it started downpouring. I mean,
we got into the lift. We got into the lift, and a minute after we got into it, it started downpouring really bad.
And again, this is not.
Mind you too. While during our walk, Variant says, "Oh, we're not that far from the place."
We thought we were gonna have to walk back. I was gonna shoot myself.
We thought we were gonna have to walk again just because of that line.
Yeah, no, well, because I was under the impression that
it was just around the corner.
Yeah, and like again, this is no fault of realistically. This is no fault of the person who was in the problem.
I sure do wish they communicated a little bit better.
I think that the person
I think the staff was mainly the.
I think the person that we were helping even said, I think literally the next day, "I'm sorry that it was such a long walk that we didn't communicate" or something. Something along the lines.
Thankfully, I'm gonna say this too. During that long walk in the rain, we had walked 40 minutes and had potential of losing stuff, and we did end up actually losing something.
We did lose Variant's bow tie.
because
we had taken stuff off because
I had started taking stuff off. Well, A, because I was getting tired, and B, due to the situation that we were dealing with, I started getting I take that shit very, very seriously.
Yeah, and I think you were starting to heat up
because I was starting to heat because my mother had gone through a similar thing. A lot of my friends had gone through similar topics. So I was already burning up from the convention, and then all that shit topped on. I was already not doing well. So I had to take stuff off, and I guess either I don't remember if I didn't hand it.
Threw it over your shoulder is what you did.
I threw it over my shoulder. So I had a bow tie, and it was one of those just clip-on bow ties. It was one of the ones that go around your neck. And I had put it around my shoulder because I was just like, oh yeah, I'll feel it fall off.
That's where you put everything else. Except for the jacket. You gave the jacket to Derpus.
And so during the walk, I ended up dropping it. I didn't find out until the next morning when we were getting ready. And this segues perfectly into day 3.
Actually, it doesn't
actually no, because you're missing a very funny detail. You're missing a very funny detail about all of this.
So during this whole thing,
after we had gotten our lift called, we all sat there. We didn't go towards the apartments, nothing. We literally sat at the front desk area almost. Just on the sidewalk.
And we're all sitting there, and all we
Variant
hear...
looks at at us and says, "So, that was fun." Or something along the lines of, "I am tired." And he looks over at both of us and says, "I'm guessing you guys are tired too."
And then
I hear.
So hold on, wait. Now I think you've got that one a little messed up, because if you're doing the bit that I think you're doing, I think you got it messed up.
I don't remember what it was exactly said, but all I can remember is that something was funny.
So I've got you. So it was us three, another gentleman, and then the staff and the other chick that had the issue.
We're all
so when we had gotten there, when we had gotten there, he was saying that he didn't have a way home. He did not have a way home, and we had offered to throw Cash App into his pocket so he can get home, or offer himself to them so he can get home too. Right? And we didn't end up offering money that I remember. So I think he caught a lift with them, so they accommodated him. Okay, so they accommodated him. So that's good. All right.
I think he did though sleep in his car that night.
There though, we were talking there, and he was thanking us for attempting to be there with him and all this. And he was hugging us.
And
that's where it happened.
Yeah.
So he was hugging us.
He went to go to Derpy to give him a hug and everything. And I can't remember what he said to you.
I think he said, "Thank you. You guys are awesome." I said,
Scoopy. All I hear from a tired man is
Scoopy.
Scoopy.
And what was really funny about it was because due to like after we got home, I had to go and wash my hair, so I had like due to the fucking dye I had in my hair and all that, and
Man made the bathroom look like a murder scene.
I made the bathroom look like a set.
And homeboy didn't use the makeup towel that was clearly labeled makeup towel.
That
so
I always end up missing those. I don't know what it is.
He wiped off the red.
No, that was from that morning.
Hair.
That was from that morning.
Still, red stained hair, and it looks like you have been murdered.
Onto a marble white towel.
But no, what was really funny was the fact that I shower and I lay down, and Derpy and I had to share a bed that night, which was fine.
Mind you, also, as soon as we got home, Variant literally violently threw things.
So,
I was pissed.
So it was what?
It was
3:30 when we got home.
3 o'clock.
It was 3:30.
Yeah, because Mama V was up.
Yeah, it was.
I woke her up.
I remember 4 o'clock.
Oh, you woke her up?
It was 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I went to wake her up because it was 3 in the morning and I needed to let her know that hey, we did get home, but shit happened.
Okay, but we all got in there. We're all tired. I had my little sectional in the corner, literally. And so Variant, I went in there and woke Mama V up. This is when we start like explaining what we did that day. We showed her all the stuff we got. We got like a rubber duck. We got a frog. We got all sorts of stuff. And we explained to her the situation of why we were home so late. Then she's just like, okay, I'm going back to bed. Let's just say we all slept like babies.
What's really funny is the fact that I got back in bed, or like once I got to bed after showering, Derpy's like scrolling through YouTube just to try to find what to watch, and all he can hear me is like as I'm like just kind of laying there. I just
Scooby. He did, dude. You want to say
the blanket.
The blanket?
This is the day I found the blanket, because the night before Derpy, remember, you woke up from me going into the bathroom to get a towel to freaking wrap myself up in so that I wouldn't be cold.
I turned around and spooked him.
Yeah, he literally did the whole, I've been waiting for you.
I've been expecting you.
I've been expecting you.
Now, day 3.
You say you said we slept like babies. That's a lie because we woke up at 9 because we had to get kicked out at 11. So we were trying to rush everything out.
Yeah, we only slept
I'm meaning the
hours.
simple fact that we practically fucking nearly passed out when we got there.
I didn't. It took me a while to fall asleep. I was the last one to fall asleep.
15 minutes and I was...
Yeah, no, this motherfucker turned on Ultra Kill and passed out. I'm over here like trying to go to sleep, and then Derpy's arm would just nudge.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, you're fine. It didn't bother me. But I waited specifically until this to tell you about that. I would go to sleep and then like you would have one of those like tired like muscle spasms.
The fake fall.
No, but no, day 3 was really good. And
day 3, even though yes, we woke up early and had to rush around, it was still great.
Day 3, we started off trying to fix my fucking antler.
Yeah.
And we spent like an hour trying to fix
my fucking antler. Later that day, while we're sitting down, it's just like, I could have glued this to the band.
Oh yeah, so because what ended up happening was I was trying to what I did is I would put on the headband for the ears, and then I would put my
I gotta use the restroom.
I would put my antlers like in my hair because there were hair clips. Well, I think towards the end of day 2, I did put them on the band. Like I clipped them to the band.
Yes.
And then like day 2 I clipped them to the band, and then day 3 I was like, why didn't I just glue these on the band?
But day 3 started with us meeting with the people that we met before.
Yes, and they were great.
And
we met Clown like really early on.
We met Clown. That's what I'm saying. We met Clown first thing in the morning, practically.
And then
and Clown had offered to do makeup for us, and we both literally were just like, I don't feel like makeup today.
And then while we were in the parking garage trying to fix my fucking antler, we found the people who were Charlie, Angel Dust, and Vaggie the day before.
And what was the Angel Dust that day? What was she?
They were Verosica.
Verosica, yeah.
And
the Charlie was Sun.
And it was really funny to me because we started off the day, and then I'm looking at the schedule here. Well, I would look at the schedule, but I think it's
but he's not going to be able to
scroll
for a little bit. Oh, there he is.
I think we literally just went and
we literally went to the
backup
one
vending.
only.
We went and did all the vending stuff, and then
we did our vending stuff. We literally went to so there's funny stories with the vending though. We're all in line for going to get signatures from. Well, I am.
It was
anyways.
Blake. It was Blake.
I'm in line for Blake, and I'm going in line for each of the Has-Been cast. I get Blake first.
Yeah, you and I both got Blake.
The vendor room hours are highlighted so you can see when.
So, but we went in there. We got Blake first. And, we talked to him for a little bit. He loved that I was Husker and everything like that.
Actually, no. I got Amir's first, and then I went to Blake. Because I got Alistair's first.
Yeah, we got Amir's first. Yeah, we got Amir's first.
And then and we got Amir's, and then we got Blake's, and then we got Erica. Or no, you got Erica, and then I had to go and catch up.
Yeah, but
So we got Amir's first.
Okay, anyways.
And then you got Erica, and then I got Blake and Erica later.
With Amir, we were standing in line, we were waiting.
This was day 2, actually. We got Amir's day 2, and then we got Blake and Erica.
No, we didn't.
I think we did.
No, we got it all day 3. Because Derpy was the one that gave you the money for the last one.
I know, but I think I got Amir's.
So this is the part where I'm gonna say this is the part where we're gonna mention V hand built a staff.
Yeah, V hand built a staff with my.
He hand built a staff and threw an actual microphone into
on it. But
okay. And as it went through, through the day.
Let's talk about when we got the Has-Been like the signatures first, and then we'll.
Breaking. But
okay.
But with Amir, I went up to Amir because I was the first one and I was ahead of Variant.
Mm-hmm.
And Amir is just like we talk. I tell him like my favorite stuff about the show, and then he's like, "Can I take a photo with you though?" And I'm like, "Sure." But here's the thing: I didn't pay for a photo. He just went up and wanted to take a photo because he loved the cosplay. And then he goes up to me, and we take a photo. I'm like, cool. This is lovely. I go to and then Variant is right behind me. He gets a photo. He gets to tell his side now.
And what was really funny about it was, well, first off, before I tell my story, you say what he wrote on your signature.
Oh, yeah. So on my signature, just because I was Husker, I didn't pay for a quoted thing either.
Yeah, because we had to pay. Because
you had to pay extra for a quote. But this man literally wrote, "You're a loser" on mine, and I was like, what?
Which, for those of you who don't know, is a quote from one of the songs.
Well, it was just a quote practically from the song "A Loser Baby." But anyways.
And what was really funny about what happened with me was, because Brayden went to go talk to Erica, and I was going to talk to Amir, and he went on for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes about how much he liked the cosplay. And I talked to him about the fact that it was an actual mic, and he's like, I noticed that. That's really cool.
And then he took a photo with you.
And he took a photo with me too. And
V, steps out of line because he's done with Amir.
Yeah, go for it.
And I'm talking to Erica already.
Oh,
Erica's
yes.
Line is already practically done to where I'm already up there. And I start talking to Erica. She's just like, I love the Husk cosplay, talking about how much I love the show. And then then she brings up the subject of something along the lines of like, I'm glad that everybody's enjoying the show. And I'm glad that it's wonderful that people are enjoying each part. And I'm like, yeah, if we do a whole watch party on Fridays because this one over here, and Erica.
Hold on.
Literally.
Okay. So it was so funny because I'm kind of just like off to the side just because I'm like,
in his own world.
Well, because I'm off to the side because I'm not talking to Erica because I didn't pay for it. It didn't feel right to me. But I was still like, I was wanting to like hear what was going on and be a part of it in quotes. And Eric and I hear Bray, as he was saying, talk about the watch parties. And Erica in the most Charlie fashion.
Into him.
And yeah, Bray points at me, and in the most Charlie fashion, it literally looks like she appears around Bray as if she was appearing out of the frame, waves at me, and then continues the conversation. Because for those of you who haven't seen any the interviews or anything like that, Erica is just Charlie.
If you haven't seen anything about interviews or have seen Erica in person or anything like that, and you've watched the show, imagine literally a Charlie sprite.
You're literally just talking to Charlie when you talk to Erica.
Literally imagine a Charlie sprite literally poke around someone and wave dramatically, and then go back to talking.
And it was really funny because throughout the day, later in the day, I went and my mother, graciously offered me the cash flow to go and talk to Blake and Erica. Blake is first off a total sweetheart.
Blake is really freaking sweet.
And I mentioned this to Mama. I was like, it doesn't feel like when you're talking to Blake, it doesn't feel right that he voices Angel Dust, and I mean that in the sense of he is so fucking wholesome.
Yeah.
That it is hard to believe that he can play a character like so Angel Dust. Which
for him,
is
to me, honestly, he
really
kind
a
of reminds me
compliment
of
to how good he is, he is at his job.
He kind of reminds me of Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And then
no, the funny thing was he mentioned that during a panel. He said, "I hope I'm not Tom Holling this."
But it was really funny because I was talking to Blake and I mentioned Omen who's a fellow member of the cast, because Omen would not does not stop quoting Angel Dust
at all.
And then I went to talk to Erica, and it was really funny because I started talking to Erica, and as soon as I made the joke earlier talking to the guys when we were seeing the panel and talking to Mama V, and I'm like, literally talking to Erica feels like you're just talking to Charlie, and I didn't know just how true that was until I actually started going to talk to her. And it was really funny because I was like, yeah, I was, hello, I was the guy that the Husker was talking about yesterday that, who hosted all the watch parties. First off, she remembered me, which was funny.
Yes.
But second off,
and the funny thing too is whenever you mentioned me, she looked back and seen me and waved a little bit and then went back.
And it was really funny because I talked to her about the fact that I was like, yeah, I really enjoyed about the fact that this show is so Broadway inspired and is able to, pull off the facets of being a musical, because I am very fortunate enough that my mother got me into musicals ever since I was a kid. So, I've always, loved that aspect, and she straight up told me to tell my mother thank you for getting me into Broadway and all that. And it was funny because I was talking to Mama, I think it was a few days ago, because it was on
the car ride that you told her about it.
Well, because we were it was again recently, because I guess either she had forgotten that I told her, or I may have not made it obviously enough. But I went and told her again that Erica plays Katie in Mean Girls, and she's like, "Shut up, no way, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, Katie from Mean Girls from Broadway told you thank you for getting me into it.
Give me one moment. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
And I find it really funny that he leaves right as I start talking about the Has-Been panel on day 3. On the day 3.
Well, I mean, you can go back and talk about the bit you had Amir do.
Well, that wasn't until like the very end of the day.
You can still go back. You can. I mean, if you.
Well, we'll say this. So we're talking about the staff, and we'll continue this topic more later after the panel and all that. But throughout this panel, the staff started to go like it started to wear out really bad. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't it wasn't made the best. Because we made it in like 3 hours.
It was just duct tape.
It was duct tape,
a staff.
It was
foam,
it was literally just styrofoam, a wooden stick, 3 like wooden like spikes,
duct tape
and hot glue.
Duct tape and hot
and so the duct tape the glue had started to wear out. And
so did the duct tape.
And so it started to like waver a lot. And the reason why it broke so quickly was because it was like a thing that when I had somebody like hold my staff, and a lot of times it was Derpy.
Support Fox.
I would hold out my hand, and he would toss the staff back to me, and I would catch it. Because it was kind of a meme. Because Alistair summons his staff out of nowhere. So it would be like a thing where I would be talking to somebody, and I would hold out my hand, and Derpy would toss me the cane, and I would catch it, which impressive. But honestly, the day really started coming to a T when it came to the Has-Been panel, and I'll talk about this a little loosely, and then I'll talk more in detail when Bray gets back. Because
if we can afford it, right now, we may just go on and talk about it.
And so, day 3, because what ended up happening was during day 3, the group got, because it was me, Clown, Derpy, and Bray, and then the other guy who I don't even think we ever caught his name really.
Galaxy Man.
Galaxy Man. That's literally what we started calling him. So it was me, Bray, and Galaxy Man. From like we weren't in the back. We were about the middle section of the front row, and then Clown has some difficulties. I'm not going to go into it because not my story to tell. But it was enough to warrant her needing to be up front.
I've returned. What are we talking about now?
Oh, we're talking about the Has-Been panel a little bit.
Okay.
And so it was Derpy and Clown up front, and then me, Galaxy Man, and Bray in the back, like towards the middle section of the front row.
The funny story with the reason why specifically I was up front. So as Bray and V were getting signatures from the cast, the Has-Been cast,
Clown
she had said. So I'm gonna go out to my car, put my stuff up, and I will be right back. You boys can fight over the position of getting to hug off of my disability patch. I can take one person in extra. And I said,
Derpy had already been tired of standing, was ready to go and sit down.
So I was like, might as well just go do it real quick.
So Derpy looked at me.
Yeah.
And said, "Hey, when you guys get done, we'll be at the line." I said, "Okay." I told V when he got done talking to Erica. I said, "Hey, we're just go ahead and go to the convention line."
So I went and sat and waited for her, and she came back. She's like, "Oh, I guess you won." I was like, "Yeah, I guess." I guess.
And you two had a good old conversation.
And we sat there and had a conversation.
And
a conversation that V was very sad to hear about, but nonetheless.
And what was really great was throughout the course of the panel, the there were a lot of things that
Poppin'
were touched
jokes.
on again from like the
We popped
second
some
day,
jokes.
and this one was more of like an actual like questions day where they were just like,
Yeah, we were actually getting
Um,
questions from people.
and somebody had said, who would win in the fight between you and Michael?
To Blake.
to Blake, and
Blake was like,
Blake was
I
like,
don't know.
I don't want to do that, and
Michael seems like a really good kind of person. That the other, and
Mind you, Michael and Blake had did the Spider-Man meme, and Michael had given Blake the fat nugget
so there was
plushie
already.
he had.
Well, and
there was
but
already.
the funny thing was like during this whole thing, first off, when they were talking about what kind of fight, Derpy decided to. Well, I'll let him
be
say.
Funny. I decided that it would be funny if I would say, well, what about in a contest of endurance? And Blake goes, endurance of what?
Like into the microphone, pretty much how Derpy did it. And then he started really he started talking about how when he met Michael when they did the Spider-Man meme. And then Bray and I pretty much in unison said, "There's already fan art." And he was like, "What?"
Like, what?
And we both were just like, "There's already fan art on Twitter."
You hear me slightly go, "The Has-Been Hotel fandom worked quickly."
And because we literally had seen the fan art in line for the second for the panel that we did,
and also seen a video of Erica slithering behind the curtains to go meet Michael.
Well, and the funny thing is I actually got a photo of Erica meeting Michael.
Yeah,
and
we were there in person watching them do that.
And but the second the second Has-Been panel that we went to day 3, that one was so much fun,
and we ended it off
well
with singing a song.
Yeah, there was a point where they literally were just like, let's do a sing-along, and they're just like, what song, and then
you hear like 2 or 3 people be like, "Stay Gone,"
Hell is Forever,
Hell is Forever, Out for Love, or some stuff like that, but then you hear the big roar of Loser Baby!
And and so it was really funny because the sound people were like, they were so on point with it, because it was like, "Loser Baby, all right," and then we hear the piano play as they're doing.
Then you hear 3, 2, 1 practically in everybody's head, and it's just, "So things look bad," and everybody's just like, "Heck yeah!"
And it was so great because I actually have a recording of like when it happened.
Yes, you do have a recording.
And it was so funny because
you can hear a lot of us.
And it was so funny because, it got to the, and let me just say you're correct. And then everybody goes, as quiet as a room of like 500 people can be.
Yeah.
And then we hear Blake just, "Wait, what?" And so it was so funny.
And then we ended it off with what did we end off the picture with?
It was, because it was the funniest part of the sing-along was Blake was like, grabbed the mic out of the stand, held it up during the fucking power bottom at rock bottom part. The entire Has-Been cast was like pointing at the cast, or like pointing at the fucking like the audience. It was just like, "Say it."
You're a power bottom at rock bottom, but you got company.
And yeah, it was really fun.
And then we ended off the day with, what did we end off the day with?
We ended off the day with some fun activities because.
Oh yeah, we did. We did the VR. That's what we.
Well, we did the VR. We played whatever the fuck it's called.
I know it because I have it on my wish list.
But
Do I have it on my wish list? No, I don't. Oh, okay, cool.
But we ended off the day. I said we were gonna get back to talking about the staff, so here we are.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
And so what ended up happening was the staff just started getting really, really bad. And I made a comment. And this time I'm actually gonna say, hey, spoiler warning for Has-Been, because I want to talk about this.
Because if anyone has not watched all of Has-Been, this is major spoiler warning.
Because there's a scene at the end, I'm sure you're all aware,
who
have
watched.
actually seen it, where Alistair's staff gets broken, and Amir and like Alistair goes, "What just happened? Fuck," and so I made an offhanded remark like, dude, if this starts really getting bad, I should just say fuck it and break it and just have Amir do the bit. And
it got to the point where it was a sausage on a stick. It practically got to the point of a sausage on a stick.
After they had done all their cosplay stuff, V was like, oh, I don't have any more money or anything, so I do the Derpy thing, grab my credit card and hand it to V and do it.
Because it was really funny because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to ruin it. And Derpy and Bray are over here, do it, do the thing. And
what I said exactly was, do it or you'll regret it.
And so it literally took all three of us to try to fucking get the thing to like get off because the tape was so well on.
Tape off.
And
here's that perspective for you for that panel.
And it was really, it was really funny to us because it's me and Bray and Galaxy Shirt Man and
Alex shit.
And so we're all in line and we hand the staff over to Amir, and Amir thought it was fucking great. And I'm like, hey, can you do the thing? Can you replicate the scene at the end of the, or in the finale?
And of course, he has to ask, are you going to record this? Because, it costs money for recording of anything or a
and
picture.
We're just like, and we're just like, you know what? No, no. Because I didn't understand that when Derpy gave the credit card that it was a, hey,
do what you want.
Do what you want. So I didn't, get the recording. But and what I ended up but I did pay for him to sign the microphone. And
oh yeah. At the panel with the Has-Been cast, they had a couple of service dogs over there in the corner.
Yeah, there were service dogs. Yep.
They kept getting distracted by them.
Dude, you understand how funny it would have been if the dogs were dressed up as Razzle and Dazzle?
But the funniest part was about the second panel was that the third day was the day that two kids.
Oh yes, the little egg boys.
The two kids,
the little egg boys,
7-year-olds. I think they said. I think they literally.
One was 7, one was 5. I think it was.
Okay, but one of them had like a full 3D egg, and the other one just had like a full-on just throw over egg boy. But they went to go see Erica, Blake, Amir, all of them. But Amir and Blake, being Blake and Amir, they wanted photos of them because they were the only egg boys that they have seen. The kids charged Amir and Blake for photos, and then told Erica that they were going to charge her, but she gave them candy
because she had forgotten that she had cash.
But then later found out that they actually gave the kids money, so she did a 1-up and gave $10 per kid because the kids charged $5, but the two but then Erica said nah, $10 per kid. And they weren't in the panel until the very end. And then we see the egg boys, and we're like,
everyone lost their mind. But
everyone lost their mind that there were the Egg Boys.
It was really funny to me because and I think this is probably I think this is the last thing we did was go talk to them.
Last thing is that we did was talk to them, and then we went and talked to the VTuber for a good extended period.
And the VTuber
is absolutely such a sweetheart and absolutely wonderful.
Hold real quick, because after I'd gotten the mic signed by Amir, I went to go show Erica.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so grateful to the people who are running Erica's booth because they just let me go up and talk to Erica without paying anything.
Yeah.
And I showed them I showed her the mic, and she did the most Charlie thing of just looking over at Amir and going, "Oh my god, oh, you signed the mic? That's awesome." And Amir just looks at her and then goes back to signing. But yes, we talked to another VTuber who had a booth there, whose name is Corey Ujo, and that is that is Oujo. For those of you who want to go and check her out, and please do so because she's great. And it was really good because we Bray and I got the essentially a note of, "Hey, you're doing good shit."
I wanted to ask the question. I asked the question that every small creator wants to know.
How do we get bigger?
No, is that, but I didn't ask that. I asked, how do you know if you're on the right track? And she flat out just told us practically what we have been doing is what you need to be doing. And I'm just like, great. And then we keep talking for a little bit, and she's just so sweet. I got a little standee of her and her little raccoon. And she's just such a sweetheart and freaking
Bray
absolutely
over here,
wonderful.
Corey Stan.
I did get a little standee because they didn't have any mouse pads. I was gonna get a mouse pad. I was gonna get the little raccoon mouse pad.
But I mean, yeah. Once we talked to the VTuber, after we talked to the VTuber, we went and hung out with the son, or not the original Charlie, Charlie who is now son, and all that. And we spent some time with them. And I mean, it was really good. I mean, it was a great time, honestly. Because after we hung out with them, I think we just kind of sat and chilled around until Mama got there.
Up until I said I made fun of the end day of the second day.
Yeah.
Which was, okay, look, listen.
We're not having.
If there's a girl in trouble, we're going to ignore it.
We're going to call the cops.
But yeah, no, it was. Mind you, everybody watching the podcast, this is my first con. This was my first con ever.
And with the plan of the three of us all moving in, like the idea of kind of just having that idea of how we act in situations that could really be taken as stressful. Also kind of confirmed, like, oh yeah, this is something that we can do.
But what was great is that the simple fact of I'm going to continue to say this till the day I die, is that I'm really glad that the VTuber that we got to talk to took the time to actually tell us that, hey, you're doing everything correctly. Just keep pushing through these hard times.
And what was really funny.
I thought you were crying. I was like, huh?
Yeah, I thought you were crying.
I was yawning. I was yawning.
Crying?
Sorry. No, what's really funny about everything was it was Monday or Tuesday night. After everything. Because on the way home,
can we talk about the on the way home, when we were karaokeing?
On the way home,
I was out. I was dead.
Well, no, this is after you had left. This is after we had dropped you off. Because after we left Kami, we immediately were like, hey, we need to look up any future cons so we can like go to another con in like April, May.
Yeah.
And so we found 2 that we're gonna try to go to. I know Derpy has essentially pledged that he is going to find his way up here for Huntsville Phantom Pop Expo due to some of the guests that are going to be there. And our next big con that we're going to at least attempt to try to get to is MomoCon in May. But what's really funny about it all was after we had dropped Derpy off.
It was like an hour into the drive back home.
Bray and I did like a little like karaoke of the.
We started singing Has Been songs from the first like 5 episodes.
From the first 5 episodes, and
you know, we're casually singing, you know, just doing the switching roles. You know, V was one person, I was another person, yada yada, because they're all duets.
and it's really funny because we were doing Respectless, where I got
to Respectless because
I was Velvet because I can do the British
V
voice.
Was Velvet and I was
Carmine, and it was really funny because we're over here, you know, just going for it, and we get to the end, and
V is not expecting me to do anything except
because with up until that point, I was just doing falsetto because I didn't want to be too loud. Bray over here decided to just absolutely fucking gun for it, and
I decide to full on.
You belted that last note.
I full on belted the last note to the point of perfection, apparently, in V's eyes.
I was over here like, goddamn, all right.
And it caught him and Mama V off. Mama V was driving, so I can understand why it caught her off, but it caught V off because he's never heard me actually try to sing.
And sorry, I'm chewing, guys.
No, you're good.
But it was really funny because we it got to the point where after we got home, I'm not really going to talk about some of the things that happened once we got home, but like Monday or Tuesday night I was at my dad's, and you know, talking to some of my buds, and I decided to make a post about meeting Michael and Ashley. 5 minutes after making this post, Ashley likes my tweet, and I just go, and I sent it to the group chat, and I just went, ah! What the fuck? Because I was not expecting Ashley to fucking like my tweet. So I had a bit of a moment where I was like,
What happened?
When I made that tweet about meeting Michael and Ashley likes my tweet. Yeah. And then Bray decided to do the same thing, and he got his post liked by Ashley.
I'm over here
and he started geeking. Yeah, I mean, realistically, what?
I'm trying to see if I can't find the post because I want to see if I can't remember if Michael went back and liked it either.
I don't think so, because you would have absolutely said something if Michael did.
Oh yeah, no, I would have absolutely said something about Michael.
But I mean, wrapping this all up because this is a very long episode.
This is a very long episode. We got 5 likes.
It was
mainly you guys.
It was really I mean, Comic-Con was an adventure.
Comic-Con was great. Yeah, I can't wait to go again next year.
Oh yes, I'm so excited. Oh, Derpy went and found the fucking tweet. And it was the tweet like right before that. Yeah, there you go. But it was Yeah, I mean, Comic-Con was an adventure, a good one at points and a bad one at others. However, honestly, I'm very excited for future cons. I'm excited to potentially go to MomoCon. And if anybody here, it listening to this is going to MomoCon, let us know.
I'm gonna say it. Galaxy shirt man. I'm watching you.
But I mean, yeah, I think it's time that we wrap this episode up. It's been an hour and 3/4. It's been almost 2 hours.
Since it's been an hour and 3/4, please do not forget, go get to hydrate. Go get some water. Go get some sippies, and continue your day.
If you have been playing games while listening to this, I apologize.
I do not.
But yeah, I think with that being said, I think it's time to wrap up the episode. So do not forget to like if you have been coming back and you aren't subscribed, make sure you are. I mean, you're already coming back anyway. And are there any things that you guys would like to say before I end this off?
These two are really hard to get into a room with each other. That's all I have to say.
So, Bray, do you have anything you want to say? Bray? I guess not. So, without further ado, I will see you guys next time.